Hello everyone, and welcome to the Downtown Douglas Design Charrette presentation. My name is Shelby, and I'm the Charrette Assistant at the University of Georgia's Center for Community Design and Preservation, or CCDP. We're eager to share our ideas for Downtown Douglas and gather your input. Your thoughts will help local leaders prioritize revitalization efforts downtown. So, you might be wondering, what is a charrette? A design charrette is a multi-day workshop that brings together designers and locals to focus on a particular planning issue and arrive at a collaborative solution. We are focusing on enhancing areas within the Downtown Development Authority and creating spaces that promote connectivity between all sections of the DDA. Let's delve into the project background. Douglas's Downtown Development Authority, or DDA, sought conceptual design solutions and consensus building to provide a vision for the future of their community. With a jurisdiction area that encompasses the entire 2.5-mile stretch of downtown and includes both commercial and residential areas, the DDA aimed to achieve Douglas's potential for the entire in-town community. A DDA is an appointed group of people who focus on enhancing and preserving the historic downtown of their community. Despite around 90% building occupancy and interest in lot developments and entertainment venues, the city faces challenges like disinvestment, a lack of affordable housing, and declining strip mall developments. To address these issues, further efforts are needed to revitalize the downtown, enhance entry corridors in and out of the city, and showcase potential for new construction to attract investors. Our aim is to develop design solutions for downtown revitalization, corridor enhancement, and housing opportunities that consider the input of community stakeholders and the team's observations of the town. The process began on February 24, 2023, with an initial meeting, a downtown tour, and a community input session attended by 30 local stakeholders. Students facilitated a mapping analysis to gather locals' opinions on what to keep and what to fix in downtown. Participants also imagined their return to Douglas after 10 years and described their hopes for the town. After the initial meeting, UGA students from landscape architecture, historic preservation, and the urban planning and design programs developed concepts for your feedback. An online survey will be available after this presentation and will assist local leaders in prioritizing revitalization efforts downtown. After the stakeholder feedback, the Charrette team began to coalesce the information gathered into broad categories of need, including green space and greenways, entertainment and placemaking, streetscapes and circulation, preservation and housing, and a special focus on the Carver District. CCDP Director and Charrette Facilitator Jennifer Lewis asked each student to determine a handful of big ideas to be broken down into small wins that were achievable through strategies like tactical urbanism, which are short-term, low-cost, and scalable interventions to catalyze long-term change. The first ideas we will discuss were developed by the Green Team. The Green Team focused on vacant lots that have the potential for green space within the central downtown district. The team explored the Douglas Trail as a connecting artery and proposed a vision for community event space downtown that includes a park, a parking deck, and apartment housing in the area. During the input session, community members identified many areas around downtown that were not being utilized to their full potential. There was an interest in turning these places into places for gathering, particularly along the Douglas Trail. Community members also expressed a need for improvements regarding both aesthetics and functionality of the trail. The team observed that certain vacant areas within the downtown were more ideal for development than others. Because of this, the team focuses more on centrally located areas of downtown along the trail. Some of the available sites are brownfields or former industrial or commercial sites that may have environmental contamination due to their former use. The team also observed a need for plantings, lighting, shade, and parking within the vacant sites to increase appeal and enhance usability. Although the sites were vacant, many are privately owned, and therefore it's a possibility that these landowners would not be willing to sell their land. This map shows areas which the green team will focus. The green line is the greenway, yellow areas are neighborhoods, purple sections are vacant areas that may be developable, and blue sections are vacant lots adjacent to the trail. Sections 4, 5, and 6 were prioritized for their close proximity to downtown. The Green Team's big ideas include transforming the former police station plot into a community gathering space. This plot is centrally located within town and could have a lawn for gathering at events, connections to the Douglas Trail, and smaller parks and parking lots along the trail. The team also recommends adding an amphitheater, playground, parking deck, 5-on-1 style apartments, and streetscape and pedestrian enhancements. Here's the team's vision for the central gathering space. This illustration shows the new ideas for the former police station plot in the areas around it. Some ideas include the amphitheater, which can be activated through events and programming, a playground that adds a much-needed children's amenity and is inspired by trains and rail cars, which formerly ran close by. For the railroad tracks, the team recommends a bridge for crossing, as desire lines were observed crossing the tracks. A parking deck near the amphitheater would provide much-needed parking and is a great way to add a significant amount of parking without using as much land. Also, 5-on-1 style apartments would add housing to the downtown and allow for rooftop amenities which can activate the nightlife. And finally, streetscape and pedestrian enhancements like plantings and seating downtown can help activate the entire space and promote activity. The team drew inspiration from places like the Ball Ground Burger Bus. This idea from Ball Ground, Georgia could be implemented in Douglas using a train car instead. Inside could be a restaurant or cafe or another small shop, and it would continue on the railroad theme. As for the community gathering space, the team used Cathedral Square Park in Milwaukee as inspiration for the space. This park has a large open lawn for events, a semi-permanent stage, a children's area, and space for food trucks or tents. This particular outdoor space is unique in its addition of a children's playground. Achieving the Green Team's long-term goals requires small, achievable wins along the way. For example, the team suggests focusing on the area between the Boys and Girls Club and the Heritage Station Museum. This area has a mature tree canopy for shaded trails, an open lawn for nearby events, and it's in close proximity to the Douglas Trail. This shows the Green Team's ideas for this area. The plan includes connections that would allow the Boys and Girls Club to utilize the greenway. The added basketball courts provide an opportunity for outdoor recreation and activate the space. The historic buildings near the Heritage Station Museum could be used as a restaurant or snack bar. And finally, the site shows enhancements to connectivity with trails that connect to downtown and throughout the entire green space. The next concepts are centered around greenway enhancement and plaza design. This section explores improvements that are necessary to enhance the greenway. Additionally, the team will discuss the establishment of a downtown plaza that serves the Martin Center and the businesses surrounding it. In the stakeholder session, the team discovered that the greenway is an underutilized asset. The team suggests adding plantings for shade, public restrooms, water stations, lighting for safety, and seating options along the path to enhance its potential. Big overall ideas from the team include a bike share program which stakeholders express an interest in having. A bike share program would allow for residents to use the greenway as a mode of transit between places, and it would be quicker than walking. The proposed rental program would have 3 stations, one towards the north end of downtown, one in the historic district, and one at the college. These spots are shown at the map to the right. A program like this will increase the interest for college students to travel to downtown from campus, which stakeholders also mentioned as a goal. The team drew inspiration from the Book a Bike program in Ohio. This program would be made possible through grant funds or local donations, and this program allows for library card holders to use or borrow bikes for free. A similar program could be implemented in Douglas. Small wins regarding the bike share program include a partnership with the South Georgia State College, which could be started with small investments of inexpensive bicycles that could be painted in the college's colors. There could be bike repair stations along the Greenway and within the downtown district as well. Another big idea includes the implementation of a skate park. Conversations with stakeholders helped the team learn that Atkinson Plaza was once designed as a public seating area, but skateboarders found the infrastructure enticing for practicing tricks. This caused damage to some of the walls and benches, so the seating was removed for everyone. Rather than abandon the idea of creating a plaza that everyone can enjoy, perhaps designate spaces for skateboarding adjacent to the Greenway. This could eliminate damage to property caused by skaters, provide a safe space for youth recreation, and activate the Greenway. An example for the skate park could be the Skate Park Project. This program provides resources, solutions, and grants to fund skate parks in underserved communities. The project also shows ways to make temporary skate parks using found objects. An additional big idea is the Greenway enhancement behind Harvey's Supermarket. The small grassy lot behind Harvey's has the potential to be used as a pocket park. This park would be located along the Greenway and next to the grocery store in the South Georgia State campus. It could be used as a picnic space, and the addition of a playground would be a nice amenity to have at this site. The team also did an analysis of the parking inventory throughout downtown. Inventory of existing parking is shown in gray to the right. Atkinson Plaza, shown in red, is located in the center of downtown, but it's currently burdened by 8 parking spots that take up a significant amount of room. A cursory inventory of both on-street and surface parking shows a significant amount of adjacent parking spaces available. If these 8 spots for cars were removed, there would be significantly more room to provide the gathering space the public is requesting. Another big idea includes the plaza design of Atkinson Plaza. The team shows what this plaza could look like with the elimination of parking and the addition of seating and tables and adding of trees which would protect the area from the road noise. All of these additions would make the atmosphere more welcoming and would get people to stay out for an extended period of time. This slide shows what the plaza could look like according to the team. It shows plantings and seatings throughout. The final small win from the team includes the creation of the temporary skate park along the Greenway using found or used materials. The team also suggested closing the parking lot in Atkinson Plaza to test the appeal of an outdoor gathering space with comfortable amenities. Some of these amenities include the seating in public areas like bistro tables and benches, the installation of potted plants in the plaza, and the creation of shade with umbrellas at tables to ensure the space is inviting for eating, conversation, and hangouts. Let's now move on to the Streetscapes team, which focuses on creating more functional and comfortable spaces for pedestrians. Stakeholders expressed the desire for consistent aesthetic and walkable streets with shade and trees. The team observed a lack of shade and outdoor seating in downtown, but many businesses with open doors that could take advantage of these improvements. Johnny's Pizza is a great example of a well-utilized outdoor seating space. Big ideas include creating people-centered spaces with shade and seating along the wide sidewalks in low-traffic areas to incentivize walking and provide outdoor dining opportunities. The photos here show the existing conditions on some of the streets throughout downtown. Adding shade trees along main circulation routes like Peterson and Madison Avenue can also enhance the pedestrian experience downtown. There appears to be enough room for 2 travel lanes and street parking and a buffer of plants along the sidewalk to improve walkability in the short term. The team explored options such as street closures for outdoor seating, inspired by the success of a similar initiative on College Avenue in Athens, Georgia. The positive impact of the temporary shutdown of College Avenue led to a permanent closure of the avenue in 2021, and implementing something similar in Douglas could help achieve local goals. Other small wins focus on Bryan Street in central downtown, adjacent to J&D Cafe, and they also focus on businesses along Peterson Avenue like the Taco Place. Some small wins for this area include pedestrian areas with outdoor seating, plantings and shade that will improve the pedestrian experience and encouragement of walking. The before and after photos here show the Bryan Street renovations. The changes made include the closure of the central lane for seating next to J&D Cafe. There were tables added outside for cafe seating and a vegetative buffer between the cars and pedestrian areas for safety. Lighting is seen overhead to encourage nightlife and enhance the pedestrian experience. Like College Avenue, it could have a temporary installment to test the success of the area before making any permanent changes. Additional small wins on Bryan Street include a wraparound seating for J&D Cafe, canopy lighting, and two-way vehicle circulation. The small wins next to the Taco Place encourage pedestrian activity and circulation and enhance the pedestrian experience by incentivizing walking. Closing these 3 parking spots can be a temporary way to enhance the area. Finally, the team shows some inspiration and ideas for what these streetscape enhancements could look like for downtown Douglas. Here are some of their ideas. Next, we will explore the design solutions from the team that focused on the Carver District. The team's design solutions for the Carver District focus on replicating the preservation and investment efforts seen in Douglas's historic district, creating infrastructure to support existing neighborhood traditions, and fostering new community engagement opportunities. Analysis of the Carver District showed that the team heard that the George Washington Carver Shopping Center is locally known as The Block. The Block has been an important gathering space for the Black community in Douglas. The shopping center buildings are in decline, but property owners are exploring rehabilitation options. The team also heard about the former Equalization School, which is now a freshman campus for all 9th graders in Douglas. And finally, the team learned about the Roundtree Center Park, which is an active and well-loved recreation area. The team observed that the block currently has one active business, a restaurant called Taste of Georgia. The shopping center has newly paved parking lot, but would benefit from shade and outdoor seating at the restaurant, as has been recommended for downtown. Observations also show that there is barbed wire around the freshman campus. It's not welcoming, and it makes the neighborhood appear unsafe. The team is focused also on the Rosenwald School. This is an important part of our nation's history that deserves a more active use for the community. And finally, additional green space is needed throughout this entire section of downtown. Big ideas from the Carver District team center around community engagement, beautification, and culture. Community engagement focuses on creating a space for gathering at events, public art opportunities, and the implementation of a community garden at the school. Beautification focuses on reducing the heat island effect by adding plantings, making the area more friendly, and encouraging the space's upkeep. Culture centers around the celebration of the Rosenwald School, better signage for the George Washington Carver Shopping Center and the Rosenwald School, and the enhancement of cultural traditions in the area. A site analysis of the Carver District is shown to the right. This rendering shows the proposed site plan. This plan includes a proposed public art space, which would be the painting of the fence next to the school. It also includes a proposed community garden next to the historic Rosenwald School. The goals of this plan are to reduce the heat island effect for students through plantings and greenery, the inclusion of a community garden, and providing opportunities for community or student engagement through public art initiatives like the fence painting. Other big ideas include the post office park. This would provide a green space connection from the area around the block to the downtown and provide space for patrons of the farmers market to gather. The large open lawn concept in pavilions would allow for large community gatherings. Although big ideas are great, it's important to have small, achievable wins as well. This includes a pop-up plaza within the Carver District located at 670 South Pearl Avenue. This plaza would have a stage for community performances and promotes public gathering. The proposed space would also have space for pop-up shops where owners can come and have their own temporary location and people can walk around the center ring to shop. The team also proposes movable pallet seating and space for food trucks in the outer ring of the plaza. Food truck owners could come and park their trucks while people walk and sit around the tables. An area like this promotes community gathering in walkable spaces. Our final section focuses on preserving the character areas of downtown. Douglas should capitalize on the opportunity for unique loft housing. Ongoing efforts to restore its buildings to their original character and allowing for loft living would increase activity downtown both day and night. Continuing preservation efforts into the north and south gateways and into town will allow for a more cohesive appearance through the DDA boundary and encourage more investment in areas that are currently experiencing property degradation. The team heard from stakeholders that Douglas has many rehabilitation success stories, including the Martin Center, which is a fan favorite, the Union Bank Company building, and the Heritage Station Museum. People also said that more historic buildings in the DDA boundary need to be better maintained and rehabilitated. Additionally, housing options are needed downtown, including short-term rentals and long-term options. The motels on the north side of town are problematic due to the perceived crime and unkept appearance. Decatur, Macon, Thomasville, Madison, Moultrie, Brunswick, and Athens, Georgia all have qualities that Douglas stakeholders aspire to have: walkable, dining and entertainment options, and beautiful public spaces. The team observed that there are a large number of structures with historic integrity, 62 contributing buildings, structures, and objects. Also, the downtown is inactive at night due to a lack of residents and entertainment and dining options. The attractive architectural characteristics of some of the key historic buildings are disguised by false fronts, and there are multiple empty or underused parcels with infill potential. There are historic buildings on the north and south of the Central Historic District which can be adaptively reused. And finally, the mid-century motels on the north side of town have rehabilitation potential but are also meeting an affordable housing need that's unavailable elsewhere. The team's big ideas aim to create housing options in the historic district by taking advantage of the upper stories of downtown buildings and available tax incentives. They also suggest rehabilitating the key historic buildings in the central downtown district and on the north and south gateways. Another idea is to incorporate features of components of Douglas's history to create a cohesive narrative throughout the DDA area. And finally, the team aims to enhance the affordable housing stock in Douglas. The team suggests targeting historic buildings in the Central District and the North and South Gateways for impactful rehabilitation projects. The Central District has traditional two-story buildings that are not reaching their full potential, while the gateways have later, auto-centric developments that also have historic interest. The photo to the right shows the buildings of focus from each area. The team suggests rehabilitating existing buildings rather than demolishing them, starting with the Icebox-style gas station in the North Gateway. This style of gas station here is shown rehabilitated as Your Cleaners in Decatur, Georgia, and a biscuit restaurant in Charleston, South Carolina. There are several vacant gas stations in the same style located in the northern gateway of the DDA, which could serve as various new businesses. The historic gas station of focus is located at 404 North Peterson Avenue, formerly known as Spivey Auto Sales. We reimagine this as a fitness center. With upgrades such as paint, landscaping changes, and some facade updates, it could be revitalized and add new value to the community. The team also suggests taking advantage of the upper stories of downtown buildings and available tax incentives to create housing options in the historic district, with a primary focus on the Bordeaux building. The building has one of the largest second floors available for redevelopment as downtown living and is located right across from the Martin Center, making it prime real estate for individuals interested in staying overnight to see a show or residing in the heart of the downtown entertainment district. The ideas for the Bordeaux building's revitalization came from historic photographs of the building. Let these historic photographs guide the revitalization efforts of old buildings. The team suggests prioritizing the rehabilitation of existing 2- or 3-story commercial buildings and taking advantage of all available tax incentives. The team also suggests restoring the old Pure gas station located in the southern gateway of the DDA. These gas stations shown here have been restored to their original historic character. A project like this could activate the DDA in a unique way by providing indoor-outdoor dining and a desired entertainment destination. The team proposes retaining the existing architectural features of the gas station and adding landscaping to soften the surrounding concrete. The site could be adapted to a new use, such as a restaurant or brew pub, creating a desired entertainment destination within the DDA area. The team also suggests rehabilitating on the north side of town, turning the old motels into boutique hotels or other affordable housing options. Removing the motels will not solve the societal problem at hand, which is poor neighbors in need of a social safety net. The following ideas show the potential for reuse of the motels and additional avenues for affordable housing, which has been identified as a need. The rehabilitation of Douglas's motor courts could serve a need for lodging within walking distance of the downtown historic district, as seen in successful examples nearby. However, the loss of housing that a conversion could bring must be offset by suitable alternatives for long-term housing at an affordable price point. New apartments could be located on vacant parcels along the corridors with a blending of commercial and residential elements. To create a vibrant community, buildings should be directly accessible from the sidewalk and have street trees. Athens Housing Authority and Columbia Residential partnered to create many successful multifamily housing units that include affordable and voucher units in addition to market rate units. To preserve the character of the neighborhood, new housing should blend in with adjacent historic homes. Habitat for Humanity and Hartwell in historic Macon are already building single-family homes and duplexes that fit into their respective historic neighborhoods. Nonprofits and land trusts are also rehabilitating historic properties with funding from community development block grant programs and providing home ownership classes to maintain affordability. In addition to big ideas, small wins can make a big difference in creating a vibrant community. Consider creating unique programming to promote historic properties such as historic tours, tours of rehabbed and not yet rehabbed upper stories, tours of homes in the Gaskin district, and walking history tours. Adding temporary signage in old buildings, showcasing their former appearance, can increase the historical understanding of the area. Other small wins include placemaking efforts like using a unified signage design to signify districts that is reflective of local history. Using a cohesive narrative that can be incorporated through the DDA can help bring the large area together. Other details from historic buildings or railroad elements could be used as branding elements. An example of that is shown to the right. And finally, the DDA should focus on creating a housing coalition and visit other communities using successful affordable housing programs such as Habitat for Humanity chapters, Georgia Initiative for Community Housing, community land trusts, or faith-based and youth-led home improvement efforts. The UGA team took an incremental approach to focus on solutions that could preserve Douglas's unique character and create opportunities for businesses and residents to thrive. Consider prioritizing small wins such as developing green space around the Heritage Station Museum and the Boys and Girls Club, partnering with South Georgia State College on a small fleet of shared bicycles, and the temporary closing of Atkinson Plaza to cars to test the interest in plaza seating. Other ideas include allowing restaurants to take over parking spaces in wide right-of-ways to create outdoor dining opportunities, the creation of a pop-up plaza for vendors and food trucks beside the farmers market, and the hosting of an upstairs downtown tour of current lofts in vacant upper stories. Another idea is placing old photos in the windows of buildings to showcase their former appearance and creating a housing coalition to learn from other communities. Building a cohesive brand for Douglas in tackling affordable housing issues is also strongly suggested. Thank you so much for taking the time to review our ideas. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation and gained a better understanding of how the community can work together to revitalize the Downtown Development Authority. Please don't forget to take our survey to provide your thoughts and feedback on these ideas. You can use your phone camera to scan the QR code on the screen or use the link here or in the video description. We look forward to hearing from you and seeing what the future holds for Douglas. Thank you.